This week, after taking a week-long hiatus, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s is back, starting things off with something brand new, and that's just showing off the actors. Can we talk about this for a minute? This is the thing I want to open with. Why? Because I like it. Why not? I love it when anime do things like, we're going to take half hour to show you behind the scenes. Why not include the actors in fun stuff like this? Look at all the work these actors put into these characters. They deserve some time in the spotlight. And I love that this changes every, dozen episodes or so. First we had Yuga's voice actor doing the card of the day. Then we had the 4 characters in chibi form doing card of the day. Now we've got the 4 actors doing, little trivia things. It's your franchise. It's your show. Why not do little stuff like that? And you know what? That's a big thing I often think when I watch this show. Why not just do whatever the hell you want? No one's gonna stop you. This shit ain't real. No one's looking to this for life advice. Why not, if you want to do something like there's a space club or an archaeology club or anything like that? You can do whatever you want so long as you do it right and make it entertaining. And that is the one thing I will always say about Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. It is always entertaining. And it's always character motivated, which this episode relied very heavily on, which we are now going to talk about. So, as we saw at the beginning of the episode, we find out that the Rush Duel tournament will only be teams of 3. First up, I love the way the weird robot girl talks. I love they keep bringing this character back. It's such a cute little thing to do. And you see, all our other, trios of characters we've seen will obviously all be their own teams. But here we got a problem because, well, we have 4 main characters because no one's cut the budget yet. So yeah, so what are they supposed to do? And I like the way they go about the issue of how to divide them up. Because immediately looks like, Yuga and I are going to be on a team together. Yuga's like, nah, I'm not doing it. And Luke gets mad. And when Luke was about to punch Yuga, and I looked and I was just kind of like, whoa, isn't that a bit extreme? Then I thought about it. Okay, maybe it's a little extreme, but, he didn't actually do it. But the more I kind of thought about it, this kind of makes sense when you think of these characters as they've been presented to us. Now, with Luke is always presented to us as the stereotypical shonen, toy commercial protagonist type character. He's always loud, he's always in your face, he's got his heart on his sleeve, always does things according to instinct, and most importantly, all he ever thinks about is becoming the champion of duels and doing things his own way. And of course, naturally, if he's doing a big tournament, he wants Yuga on his team. But Yuga's not that, and I think that's part of the reason I love Yuga is because he's so much more different than what these characters just always are, even in comparison to other Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonists. Every Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist before Yuga is obsessed with dueling. It's what their lives are defined by. Rather, it's more serious protagonists or more goofy protagonists. That's really all they think about, and everything they do is more or less revolves around dueling to some capacity, but Yuga's not that. Yuga is perfectly fine just spending all day in his little workshop tinkering on shit. His goals don't actually revolve around being the best duelist or really even dueling in general. He just wants to be able to tinker and make inventions and duel as a fun thing. And that's kind of an interesting thing for me is that dueling is fun to him, and with the people he faces, a lot of times he's just trying to get them to mellow out. That was the whole point with Asuna. He was just trying to get her to let go and just enjoy a rush duel. So what's interesting is now you see Goha trying to control rush duels. They want everything to work around them. They want dueling to be defined by what they think it is. And when you see what they've turned normal dueling into, trades have to be Goha sanctioned. Duels are often referred to as Goha duels. That's how they control society. They just control everyone through their everyday aspects, just getting them used to accumulate to that idea of do everything the Goha way. Yuga is naturally against this. He wants to do everything his his way, so that's where the conflict between our protagonist and antagonist comes into. Yuga believes that dueling should just be for fun and everything should do what they want. Goha believes dueling is a tool to control them. And if I were to take a guess, this is where our conflict is going to go as, well, we dive into the belly of the beast. So yeah, so then Yuga says no, Luke leaves angry, and I like that Luke is angry for most of the episode, and the episode never really tries to justify it. A lot of shonens will have it that if a character is angry and acting kind of like an asshole, they'll come up with some way to excuse it by the end, but no, I sort of get the impression that Luke is 100% in the wrong here for how he's reacting to Yuga, and forcing Hunter to help him and all this stuff, and the show just treats him kind of like an asshole, and I really love it. So then they go hunting for maximum cards. Yeah, I bet you didn't expect that plot point would be brought back up, but it was. They go hunting for maximum cards. I'm beginning to love Hunter, even though I think, was it just me, or did he look a little off model, like a little too tall? It's neither here nor there. Where Asuna shows up, always nice to see her. I like just integrating her into a normal plot episode. I like the joke that they all just start calling it Maximum Mountain, because what else are you going to call it? And the others are annoyed. And then we meet the Space Club. That's right, they believe in dueling in outer space. They're going to go find Planet Cray. Suck it, Chrono! So anyways, they go, and of course, naturally, they want to duel for control of Maximum Mountain, where Luke goes into duel, and I love that it's literally, I love that he's mad. I like that he's mad at Yuga throughout the duel. He's like, it's your fault, Yuga! Like, he still holds on to it until the moment where he realizes what's really going on here, and that's that Yuga doesn't want to be the one who holds the others back. He doesn't want to create a problem. He'd rather just remove himself for the situation, and to me, that is very Yuga. Yuga's not a emotional or like overly emotional person. He's not the kind of guy who's just going to start getting sad or mad in front of everybody. He's the kind of guy, well, he's the tinkerer. He's the guy who fixes stuff. He would much rather just everything else work in harmony, even if it's at the expense of himself. Because, well, that's what people who build things do. They build, and Yuga would rather see it work out for everyone else than just him. I think that's kind of a nice, endearing trait, other than just the typical screaming, I'm gonna be the best, I'm gonna win, everyone watch the fuck out! I really like that aspect of Yuga, and it's part of the reason I love the character, but Luke just kind of realizes what happens, and then of course naturally he wins the duel. This is not my favorite Sevens duel. I don't know. I felt like a lot of the stuff they did felt fairly arbitrary. And Luke's opening turn, give the guy 2 extra cards. Dude, what's wrong with you? Although I do think it's funny that this guy had a somewhat alien-esque type deck, theming-wise. And we just got like a broken alien support card. Like, of course that's what's going to happen. So then the duel ends, Luke understands the error of his ways, and Gakudo and Roman also explain what's going on. So they head back, and the episode, of course, ends on a goofy positive note, but based on the preview, obviously things are going to be getting a bit more interesting. If I were to make a personal prediction of where I think this is all going, and again, this is just kind of based on what I sort of see, I think Yuga is going to form a team with Roa and Nail. And the reason I think about that is we see Roa and Nail in the opening credits, along with Asuna. Asuna will obviously enter with her 2 lackeys, and Yuga will enter with the 2 of them, and maybe it'll be a mystery why he's working with them, or what's going on here, but I think that's where this is going, because you need the 4 of them, we see them in the opening together, you need them together at some point, and to me that seems like just the simplest way to do it. So yeah, that was this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. I really like the ideas behind the characters and how they all bounce off each other, and just in general, it's, you know, always fun to see characters and plot elements return. So anyways, as for the TCG question of the week, we brought it up. Aliens got a broken support card. It only took like, what, 20 fucking years? But they did it. They got something cool. So my question to you is, what's that one bad archetype still waiting on that one great card that you just want to make them so fucking busted? For me, I want a Gem Knight card that doesn't make Gem Knights into a degenerate FTK deck! So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. That was this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. That was the TCG question of the week. Y'all know the drill. Click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week where we see the teams form up.